Hey y'all, this is a brief introduction to how to IA. Again, I'm giving this to you before the summer in the hopes that you do things this summer to get prepared for the fall. In the fall, when a lot of you come back, you'll be execs or presidents or leaders of your clubs and organizations. You'll be busy with applying to universities, and many of you will have other IAs as well as maybe extended ICs to work on as well. So if you are able to do any of this ahead of time, your life will be probably less stressed and you'll have more free time to spend with your friends, which is probably what you should be doing for at least part of your senior year. So I'm going to go through some suggestions I have for how to organize your work over the summer to be in the best position possible and to get as much done as you can. So for the IA, and maybe Mr. Fahey or Mr. Boyd has gone over this, but you are a consultant. You're going into a company, you're identifying a problem, and then you're proposing a solution to that problem. If you like this type of work after doing the IA, there are full-time jobs like this. It's called management consulting, and they are generally quite highly paid, and they are jobs you can get right out of university. They're companies that have offices all around the world. But in this case, again, you need to know enough about the company to find a choice, challenge, problem they're facing. You talk to the company, you survey, you do research, you ask for information, and then you figure out kind of what tools, techniques, and theories from our course, the business management course, can you use to analyze that information and then come up with a solution to the problem they're facing. So the way you kind of focus or hone your activity is by coming up with a research question. And this will drive your inquiry, drive your research, drive your analysis all the way through. Once you've gathered all your information, hopefully at the end, you're able to answer your research question and propose or recommend a solution to the company itself. So you really need a real problem, real solution. It doesn't work if they fabricate, they make, they manufacture something for you to do. It really should be something that they're wrestling with, they're trying to figure out. Good research questions are cues. This is the driving force behind your IA. Really focus on the tactics. You may remember from this year that there's a difference between vision and aims, strategy, objectives, and tactics. Tactics are typically the most specific, the most day to day, the week to week, month to month. You're really trying to focus on something very specific because that makes your job a little bit easier in asking for information and then doing the analysis. So in this case, should they buy? What type of bus should they buy? Should they locate their new retail space in Cengguatana or Lumpini? Should they add feature X or feature Y? So these two alternatives, or questions that feature two alternatives, are often good IA choices because of how clear they make your potential recommendation. So with the question and with your IA, try to use some of the tools from the course, but not necessarily all of them. So you're looking at maybe 2 to 4 areas of the syllabus and 2 to 4 business tools. In a separate video, I will show you where you can find a list of almost all of these business tools and syllabi information. And again, it really needs to be about a real choice they're facing right now or they anticipate facing in the future. So again, real problem, real solution. If you click on this link here, 52 other examples, there are a list of 52 research questions from Hong Kong and China that students, IB students, have worked on in the past. Some of them are good, some of them not so good, but they should give you some ideas if you need help with how to phrase your research question. So this summer, I'd recommend, once you have an idea of which company you can talk to, now this could be family related, could be your parents, could be a company where your parents may not necessarily own it, but they work at that company. Really, you want to go for a pre-meeting. You're trying to learn just enough about the company so that you can at least come up with a research question. This may be an informal conversation, but you're trying to get enough information just so you can come up with a SWOT for the company: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Because once you have that, you're able to come up with maybe what types of challenges, what types of problems the company has, and then come up with a research question that would help you figure that out for them or suggest a solution for them. So once you've had that initial conversation, you've gotten the SWOT, you have an idea of what your research question might be. You need to figure out what you don't know but need to know in order to be able to answer that RQ. So again, this is a time maybe you break out the textbook and figure out what areas of the syllabi, what tools, techniques, theories might be useful. And then write a list, compose an email, figure out exactly what information, and be specific that you need from the company to help you answer the RQ using those tools, techniques, and theories. Again, these are busy people. You're asking them about their day-to-day work. So please make it worth their time by being organized and being specific in your information requests. So then you'll have maybe one more meeting or several more meetings. And again, this is where you try to get the information you need to answer your research question from the company itself. Again, always be polite, be respectful. You'll probably be doing interviews, surveys, maybe talking to various employees within the organization, maybe asking for company documents, could be financial statements, those types of things. But again, you're trying to get all the information you need over the course of these meetings so that you're able to answer your RQ. Again, you go back and think, do you have everything you need? Double check, make sure nothing's missing. Maybe after you research a bit more, maybe decide you need more information, in which case you'd follow up with them. And then at the end, hopefully you can get it started. So by the end of the summer, by kind of July-ish, you're hoping to have your research proposal drafted and maybe start drafting your IA. That would be ideal. So dates and deadlines. Your research proposal will be due August 19th. So we get back to school, you have one more weekend, and then it's due on that Monday. The first draft of your IA will be due between November 4th and 22nd, and the final draft will be due between March 9th and 27th. You'll notice that there's not one first draft and final draft date. I've spread it out over 3 weeks. There'll be 2 to 3 slots each day that you can sign up for to be your personal deadline. The aim with this is to be able to read your IAs as quickly as they come in, give you feedback as quickly as I can, and that way you can get started and hopefully finish your IAs as quickly as possible. So again, fewer IAs for me to read at any one time means faster feedback for you, which I think you will benefit from. And of course, if you choose to turn it in early, you may become, a student I care a lot about, because that would get it off your plate, get it off my list of things to do, and it would free up more time for both of us. So if you'd like to turn it in early, excellent. But again, you don't have to once you sign up for a particular turn-in date for first draft or final draft. So again, if you miss your turn-in date, please plan on spending your flex and lunch with me to get it done. Again, this isn't to punish you. It's more just I want to help you get it done. And if I need to provide that structure for you, I'm happy to do so. So what do the calendars look like in November and March? November looks like this: CSAC volleyball, CSAC soccer on the 7th, 8th, 9th. And then you have CSAC golf from, I guess, the 19th through the 23rd. So if you anticipate being involved in one of those things, you may pick a date, but the dates would be the week, the 4th through the 8th, the 11th through the 15th, and then the 18th through the 22nd. Again, there'd be 2 to 3 slots on each day that you could sign up for to turn in your first draft. And in March, when the final draft is due, again, this is towards the end of the third quarter, there's all school PTC. You may be involved in CSAC softball and badminton. And looks like there's some BISAC swimming also going on. So again, when you sign up for a date, be thinking about what you also have going on. And we will sign up for these dates when you come back in the fall.